Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. What an absolutely gorgeous morning coming out here. Wow, I walked out, I could smell all my flowers. Just look, these guys are really blooming amazingly. Came out, it just was amazing, and it's so great to be able to come out here and sit down, have a cup of coffee, share it with you, and really just start the day off right, I'll tell you. Well, guys, what's going on in this space is just absolutely insane. We're watching the SEC go on a virtual rampage. Here they are now suing Coinbase. Now get this, it wasn't too long ago, right, that Coinbase IPO'd, and who had to approve that IPO? Yeah, you guessed it. The SEC had to approve it. And in that IPO application, Coinbase actually spelled out their business model from A to Z and everything that they were doing, and they're not doing too much different today that they were doing then. And hey, didn't the SEC approve the IPO? Well, of course they did. And what happened? It was one of the biggest IPOs there had been. Lots of people piled on in a big way. Now the SEC, with this attack on all these exchanges, because they've changed their tactics here, they're going after the exchanges hardcore now. Well, what happened? Well, the price of Coinbase in their stock trading absolutely plummeted. Now you ask yourself this question. The SEC is out there supposedly to protect the investor, right? Well, who is really getting hurt by this? Well, it is those investors, those guys that piled into the IPO, and of course anybody that has bought it since the stock price on NASDAQ, and bam, it has gone down and hard. Now, having said that, guys, look, they're attacking it saying, hey, these, Coinbase has violated, U.S. securities laws and offering, these various digital assets that, of course, the SEC is deeming, by the way, to be securities. It hasn't been determined that they're securities yet. But here they are just suing anyone they can. They're suing Binance over here. Of course, they're suing Coinbase, largest U.S. crypto exchange and all that. And what's this all about, guys? This is about shaking some trees, if you ask me. You're going to watch a lot of weak hands fold and fold fast. And why is that, guys? Well, of course, because they are throwing all of this fear into the mix. Look what happened with Ripple XRP when they sued Ripple in December 2020. The price of XRP just boom, tanked big time. And I'll tell you, that shook out a heap of weak hands. But 4 months later, guys, what happened to the price of XRP? An 1,100% return from 17.48 cents to $1.97. Don't get spooked too much when you see this news. But one thing I will mention is this. Guys, when you're dealing with these exchanges, use an exchange when an exchange is for buying and selling. Don't use an exchange like you would a bank account and store all your assets on there, because there is that old adage is true. Not your keys, not your crypto. So you go out there and get it onto a hardware wallet. Now look, I know a lot of people are kind of nervous about Ledger and this and that. But the deal with that whole recover program that they were having is this. You had to actually do something physical on your Ledger device to open up the door and allow them to come in and shard your seed phrase and divvy it up with their custodians. Guys, if you don't open the door, they can't do that. If you don't sign up for that program, it's not going to hurt you. And they can't get access and won't have access through some backdoor, as people said, to your keys. You actually have to open the door from the inside. It's kind of like someone coming and knocking on your door at your home. You got to open the door and let them in that case. And, Ledger's not going to go in and break in there and get it. So to me, I'm still using Ledger. I'm still using Decent. I'm still using some of these other ones. And there's a bunch of other ones out there. But for me, it's the whole self-custody thing. Guys, yes, down the road, I believe self-custody is going to get attacked. Just like, because they want us all into their, the same reason they're going after these exchanges is not to destroy digital asset space. I don't believe that. I think what it's all about is getting it into the institutional hands and the powers that be that are already in existence, right? The big boys out there on Wall Street and all of that. I think that's what's really going on. And when it comes to your custody of your assets, I think eventually that's what's going to happen there too. All these clearinghouses and custody arrangements and all that, are going to be in there. And so eventually, yes, you're probably going to see self-custody attack. But for now, it's probably the safest measure you could do, at least in my estimation. So, hey. If you've got assets on Binance, you got assets on Coinbase, you might want to think twice about whether you want to keep them on there or whether you want to get them on your own hardware wallet. So I'm just throwing that out there, and you can make up your own mind what's good for you. But that's kind of like what I think and what I do. But needless to say, guys, you can see what's going on. I mean, they've literally shifted to, and get this is one that I really like that other people have pointed out, and even in the comments from last night's video isn't it interesting? XRP was not named in that Binance soup because Binance has been selling XRP from practically way back the beginning, And think about it, guys. It wasn't listed as one of the securities on the Binance platform. Now, a few people have thrown out some conjecture that maybe that's because, hey, look, the SEC is like, we've already got a lawsuit going on there. But I think what's more apropos in this situation is that they're kind of looking at it like, hey, look, if we lose this case or if we've already lost this case, we don't want to muddy the waters and say, oh, well, Binance was selling XRP as security when XRP turns out not to be a security, because that would cause them to lose credibility in their own case against Binance. And so, of course, I think that's probably more the reason. I think this whole Ripple versus SEC case is all but over. I really do believe that. Now, I guess we're going to find out fairly soon what's going to go down. And hey, having said that, look at this whole deal with him. And apparently, from what I've kind of been able to ascertain, the statute of limitations is 5 years. And the 5 years from when Hinman gave that speech, literally it's to the day that, the emails and all that are being released. And so this guy might be able to kind of scooch underneath the radar there, at least from a legal perspective for what he said and did. But, I suspect from a reputational perspective, yeah, it's going to get out there. But hey, is it really going to hurt him? We don't know. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to become transparent of what went down. And I think this is going to be nothing but a good thing for, this whole XRP community. At least that's my estimation. Now, guys, something interesting. The second article that I was reading today has to do about a trial run in England, in the UK, for universal basic income. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. My opinion on UBI is this. Nothing in the world you can hands down. There's no free lunches. That is really, really the way it is. And once you start taking handouts from, the government, the powers that be, and you start to depend on that and rely on that, well, who do you think is calling the shots? You guessed it. It's the guys who are handing out the dough. They're going to be telling you how it's actually going to get spent down the road. And when you think about coupling UBI with central bank digital currencies, and that's how they issue it to you, it is over. If you think that you've lost anonymity now, wait until then. And if you think that you've lost your, that liberty to go out there, the pursuit of happiness, the way that you want to achieve it, all within, respecting your fellow man and all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you something, guys. This whole UBI deal is the road to what the WEF would love for us to all have, and that is, hold on, by 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. UBI is not a good thing. Of course, anybody think, oh, hey, helicopter money, I'll take it. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, there's a payday to be paid when you do. Don't kid yourself. And let's just see, because apparently this study is going to track, the recipients over the next couple of years, going to track, whether or not they have, what their mental stability is, in terms of like, their work ethic. Did it change their work ethic? What did it do to their motivation? They're going to be studying these people that get this dough and just see how it turns out. Well, it'd be interesting to see the results of that study. And I wonder if we'll actually get the genuine goods at the end of the day, because a lot of these, people out there that really want to make the decisions for you are for this UBI like crazy. And I think, guys, that's because what they want is this whole society where they're able to kind of like dictate who gets what, when, and where, and how, and you name it, the whole thing. And all you have to do, look, fact check me on it. Go to the WEF and read their PDFs of what they hope to see down the road. It'll really be an eye-opener, that's for sure. Well, anyway, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic day, but there's lots of food for thought in this space. You really got to consider your positions and what's coming and how to manage it, because this is going to be a big roller coaster ride. It's going to take nerves of steel, but I really, truly believe that those that have the gumption to stick it through and to see the opportunity for what it is are going to be handsomely rewarded in the end. But hey, you make up your mind. Go out there, do your research, do your own due diligence, get it into your genes, because I'll tell you what, guys, you don't want your confidence based on someone else's conviction, like I always say. But that's kind of like how I take it. So anyway, guys, I so hope you have a fantastic day. Until later on, we have a great video prepared to release for you. And until then, take care.